want to get back to Fool's Errand, which I think is just a great name for a vineyard. And it was a unique vineyard, different for me because it was staked as opposed to trellised, the poles. And I'm curious about that process and why would that be different?
It's directly in link with the Willamette Valley. It's something we will not do in Burgundy. We cannot do this kind of thing, you know. I mean, it's hard to plant a new block and to try something different. We had the concept with this block to use the unique and beautiful vines of Resonance Vineyard to try to reproduce the original vines of Resonance Vineyard, creating a small nursery on the property,
which I think is really cool. I love that.
It was really a fun project. Something small, but why? Because we wanted something successful. Not too big, because it's like a lab, if you want. We try something. So we collected the wood from the oldest vines of Resonance Vineyard, a massal selection, meaning we chose a few vines of the original Pommard, planted in 1981. A few vines of the Dijon 777, planted in 1984. And a few vines of the Vedensville, planted in 1987. We collected the wood and then we created a nursery. So that takes a certain time, you know, a few months to see the roots coming. Then we had our plants. And then we chose a block, a site, almost like a clos, you know, surrounded by the oak trees that are so beautiful.
And this was 1 acre, as I recall.
It's 1 acre. Yeah. It's only 1 acre, but we decided to plant them with high density. When I say high density, that means about 5,000 vines per acre.
That's pretty tight.
It is. It's closer to what we would do in Burgundy. However, without any trellis. Giving by the density, by a little bit the limited space between each plant, constraining the vines to go up, to search the light, you know, to search the energy from the sun by going up. And so this is why initially the goal was to let the vines running a little bit by themselves. In the Willamette Valley, we have less challenge than in Burgundy, with the pressure of fungus, of weather condition, but we have one big pressure. This is a powdery mildew. And so it was not the goal to do nothing with this block, but to do the minimum of things. And so clearly, if we didn't have a way to drive a little bit the growth of the plant, it would be clearly impossible to protect the vineyard against the powdery mildew. It was not the way of success. So we decided to have one post, one stick. We call it échalas in Burgundy. And so having the vines, you know, going up through, looking for the light, going up along the post. So it's unique. We don't have room to work with a tractor. Yeah. We have to till by hand or with a rototiller, a compact rototiller, and to spray with a backpack. So we are ready for the next step of biodynamic. And that works. It's only 1 acre, but we see really the vines going up, full of energy. Yeah. And alors voilà, we don't know yet what will be the expression of the wine. It's clear that the goal is to produce a unique wine. But as we see the vines happy, healthy, and full of energy, that should be translated into the wine, I think. So voilà.
That'd be exciting to see what happens with that.
You will come back to see that, to tell that.
I hope to. Why do you think wine is so misunderstood?
Hey, it's an interesting and not simple question. If I think about that, I would say probably because people they don't take the time to clearly understand what is a wine. Alors yes, it's a beverage, oui, of course, but it's really more than that. When you see, like we did together, you visit a site, you visit a vineyard, a terroir almost, you clearly understand that there is something spiritual, something cultural with the wine, you know. Opposite way, when you share, you go to a restaurant, you take a bottle of wine. I am sure you had the same experience than me, but most part of the time, you will speak about the wine you have on your table with your neighbor that you don't know, but who are very curious about the wine that you have. And so it's a vector of connection, of exchange. And it's true from centuries, from thousands of years. It's a part of the history of the human people. Today, we run. We are always late. We are always connected. We are always... I mean, you don't drink a wine with your phone or with your social media. If you sit down and you take the time to enjoy what you have in your glass, wow, you think about the work, you think about the farming, you think about the site, about the energy. Immediately, you are more curious. You want to learn more about this wine, where it's coming from, who did that, why, you know. We have so much option in the world that I cannot believe people cannot find something that match with their palate, with their taste, you know, with their preference. I think it's more a question of time, of taking the time to learn about the wine. Alcohol, it's a false problem. If you are reasonable, it's not a problem at all. I mean, I can totally understand that some people cannot drink alcohol for health reason, of course, but for cultural reason, no. It's not a problem at all. You can be reasonable. We have to be reasonable, you know. It's normal. But, wow, it's more than just alcohol. So I think it's a part of that. Now, currently, it's probably not the best time to give access to the wine, especially when we think about young people. You know, it's a budget. It's a budget, and I am sad to see that. You know where I come from, and the passion I have for Burgundy. I can tell you today, it's becoming almost impossible to have access to some wine of Burgundy. And so it's not Burgundy. Burgundy has always been a wine region where the doors are open, where you have a conviviality. I don't know if you say that in English.
Yes, that's the word, yeah.
Conviviality. Yeah. This is Burgundy. By sharing wine, by meeting somebody that you don't know, and by offering a glass of Pinot or Chardonnay. This is Burgundy. Today, it's impossible. We don't have enough wine available. It's very expensive, of course, because the demand is high, the offer is very limited. Bon, hopefully, it's just a moment, and we will return to something more connected with what is Burgundy, the generosity of the wine. The Willamette Valley, it's another option because it's a new wine region. People, they don't know, they can learn about Willamette Valley. The price reveal the labor, the intense work that we need in this valley that is not easy to farm, with the steep slope, but it's probably easier. It's in the USA, so for consumers from the US, it's a great option to discover this valley that is not yet well known by everybody, but full of unique experience and unique potential.
What's the one question that you've never been asked that you would like to be asked?
Interesting. What was the first wine maybe I tasted?
Was there asked you that, huh?
No, I don't think. The first wine of my life. Yes, I think that will be interesting because it's in link with my past, with the place where I grew up, and that can be a good way to introduce a long discussion about the wine experience and the wines.
What was that wine?
So it was a Macon Vinzel from the vineyard of my grandfather. So very easy. It was just a splash. I cannot tell you how old I was, because but yeah, the very, very first connection with the wine. ResonanceWines.com. With my accent, I don't know if this is the best, but
That was good.